Hi, how you doing? This is Mu'taz Ismail speaking. Today, lesson is lesson 13, and we'll be talking about Ember comes over to bake cookies. So Ember decided to bake cookies with Ted in order to help him with his own business. Ted's girlfriend Amber comes over to help with cookies, and Amber, of course, she's been working as baking cook, and she has a real good experience in cooking that thing because she has a former job that has to do with cooking. Susan leaves the kitchen so that they can work better. Very fast. In order to understand what's going on in here, we need to go back to the idioms. All the rage means the latest fashion, right? So that's going to be the latest fashion ever, the trending one. And you can see here at Nate's high school, salsa dancing is trending, is all the rage this year. Example number one, have you seen those alligator skin cowboy boots? So alligator skin is a hyphenated compound adjective that is used to describe boots. And now they are all the rage this season. Okay. Call it a night or call it a day. So if you actually stop an activity for the rest of the night, you say call it a night. If you stop an activity for the rest of the day, then call it a day. In Arabic means Allah Al-Afiyah. Example number one, we spent a few hours walking around downtown Chicago. It was cold, so cold that we were ready to call it a night by 9 o'clock, to stop it, to stop an activity, to go back home and put an end for that night. Example number two, let's call it a night and meet back at the office at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to finish preparing our report. And as I said, there is something we call it a day. Feel free, which means that you have the permission to do anything you like. We call it go ahead and do something. Do not hesitate to do something. You just don't have to think twice before you do anything. You have the permission to do anything you like. Example number one here, feel free to interrupt me and ask questions during my lecture, say the professor or students. So the professor to his students, telling his students that they have the right to stop him whenever they want during his lecture. Example number two, if you need legal advice, feel free to call my cousin Fred. He is a lawyer. He is a lawyer. Get away, get out of the way, to move out of the way, to remove yourself from the way of someone, to stop interfering with someone's plans or activities or business. You don't have the right to interfere anymore. So the guy is telling you off to stop indulging yourself in his business. For example, here, if you're not planning on helping us prepare dinner, please get out of the way, move it the way, get out of the whole situation. The kitchen is crowded, you're blocking the way. Get out of the way, that truck is backing up and it might run you over. So if you do not move it the way, if you do not clear the way for me, the truck will kill you as it goes backward and it may run you over. Be in good hands when you give it to someone who is very competent, is very professional, and he knows what he's doing. Don't worry, your dog will be in good hands. They are safe. The dog will be safe because they know how to deal with dogs. The same here, you are in good hands with Tony. You are secure with Tony. He is an excellent driver. No, no off, no off, no one stuff to have an expertise in the field, to have a great experience. You are expert in this field. If you take your own computer, someone who knows everything about computer, then you give it to someone who knows the stuff, right? And for example, here Steve has been an auto mechanic for 25 years, so he has a really long experience, which means he is an expert. He really knows his stuff, right? Lend a hand or give a hand, the same thing, which means to help someone instead of staying negative or passive person. For example, here number 1, when Amber saw Susan's washing the cookies sheets, she offered to help. She offered to give a hand. She offered to lend a hand is to help, to give a kind of assistance. The same here, would you mind lending? But be sure that because of the use of mind here, it has to be followed by verb plus ing. Okay? We need to finish planting this flower before it starts raining. Lose one's touch to no longer be able to do something. For example, you've been playing football for a longer time and then you left it for 3 years and you want to come back again and play football, you don't have the same touch. You lost your own touch. It's the same thing when you're trying to make a kind of cake and you've been doing it for a long time and then you change your mind and stop doing it because you have a lot of other businesses and then you decide to come back again and make a new cake. But in that case, you lost your touch. You lost your touch. Here's another 2 examples. Dr. Stewart used to be a very good doctor, but recently several of his patients have died. He seems to have lost his touch. He's not professional anymore. Why? Why does he lose his touch? Because it's out of practice. He's not practicing anymore. He's no longer good at doing something. If you actually studied French in high school like 10 years ago, and doesn't and has she hasn't spoken it since, she's really out of practice. She doesn't practice French anymore, and consequently she is not a good French speaker. I used to play tennis every day. I used to in the past. It's happened in the past, but I haven't played in years. No practice at all. That's why I am out of practice. Pick up. So pick up has many meanings indeed. The first one is to acquire a language or learn a language not by study but by practice and to learn something new as carpentry, smithery, electricity and stuff, to be electrician. All of these things are picking up languages and stuff without even studying it as a normal books, and that was called acquire. But pick up has many meanings. For example, here, take from the floor on the ground, you need to pick up, to catch the pen. 2, to buy, which means I'll pick up some burritos on my way home. So I want to buy something. To clean up is to pick up the bedrooms before the guests arrive. So probably you have toys of your children and they're dropped over the floor, and then you have to pick up everything because you're cleaning. Number 4, to retrieve, to get back. I'll pick you up at 7 for our date. So I'll pick you there at 5, for example, and then you come back again to get you for the second time. And then I have a sweet tooth, which means an enjoyment of sugary food. So if somebody loves going to any of the sweet shops and he loves eating a lot of sweet, this is, we call him, he has sweet tooth. He loves sugary stuff. Example number 1 here, for example, no wonder Liz is overweight. She has a lot of weight. She is good at sweet. She got such a sweet tooth, which means that she eats a lot of sugary things. She loves eating sugary stuff. Take a break is to stop and rest from activity. So you've been working so hard in your assignments for a long time. Now it's time to take a break, to go for sleeping, to eat some food, to drink some coffee, and then come back again. Good example here is, let's take a break from our work and go get some ice cream. And ice cream is a real good break. Take over is to assume control. Right? To take over or to take control for the second time, again and again. For example, here, after 11 hours of driving, I was getting tired. Fortunately, my friends offered to take over. My new boss will be taking over some of my projects, taking control again of my project. So the projects now are in control of my new boss. And this is a good saying. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many people involved in the activity of cooking something they will definitely ruin it. They will destroy it, damage it, right? يعني بالعربي الطبخة اللي كثرة طباخينها بتخرب. طبخة اللي كثرة طباخينها بتخرب. The same here. Example number 2, you don't need to help us. We have enough people helping already, and too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many cooks, more than one cook will definitely have an argument with the second cook, and consequently, the cook will be destroyed. The food will be not something edible. Broth is a clear liquid, of course, that forms the base for soups. It's a liquid. It's a kind of a addition that is used to give a kind of taste for soups. Tricks of trade, when you have some shortcuts that you actually took it through experience. So you've been doing something for a long time and you now make it faster and with a high quality. So for example, you've been doing something for a long time. At the very beginning, what took you a really long time to do one stuff, now you can make thousands in a very short time. How did you do that? Because you have tricks of the trade. Tricks of the trade. يعني بعربنا بقول عنها سر المهنة. سر المهنة. My new job will be easier once I learn some tricks of the trade. Some tricks of the trade. I think the last one here is to work one's tail off. Slang. This is slang which is used in everyday language and it's not used in a formal way. To work very hard. So when Don or Bob work his tail off to save money or to the furniture store for his son's education. Why he's working so hard? Because he wants his sons to have a better education. Bob worked his tail off at the furniture store, but his boss fired him anyway, so it didn't work the way he actually liked. So please go back to the questions, and if you have any other problem, we can discuss them in the Zoom meeting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for patience. And if you have any problem, please try to contact me and we will finish this as soon as possible. Thank you so much and see you next time.